Hey folks, it's Fook, and I'm going to show you how I travel with my iPad Pro. This is a 12.9-inch version, the big one, and in my opinion, it's the only one that's worth it for traveling and video and photo editing. The 10.5-inch version is nice, but it's just a little bit too small, and this big one is perfect for that. Um, I travel with this instead of a notebook because it's a lot lighter and more compact, and the battery is phenomenal, and you can do a whole lot with it. So when I'm traveling, I'm carrying my Fuji X-E3 with the 23 millimeter lens, which is equivalent to a 35 millimeter um, on a full frame. And when I take photos with that, of course, it's stored on an SD card. And people may be wondering, well, how do you get that onto your iPad and backed up and home and all of that? And what I use is this little doohickey right here. So this is a third party. I think it cost me like $8 or something like that. Um, but there's a lightning port on one end, and then a USB port on the other, a micro SD card, and a regular SD card. So when I'm ready to edit, I just take my SD card and I plug it into the little card reader, and then plug that into my lightning port on the iPad Pro. And as soon as I plug it in, um, the import dialog from the Photos app will appear. So this is basically it. So I have two videos that are shot on the Fuji X-E3, which I'm going to edit, and I have a couple of photos. So let me go ahead and import the photos, and then I'll go into onto the computer and finish the rest of the video, where I can actually record the screen of the iPad itself in better quality. So I'll just select the photos for now and import them because they go pretty quick. And I'll say import selected. And I took a couple of photos of my Samsung Gear S3 watch because I'm going to sell it on Craigslist. So I might as well, do the edit and whatever. And replace it with an Apple Watch, the Series 4, when it's more widely available. So after you have imported the photos, it'll prompt you if you want to keep it on the SD card or delete it. So I'm going to delete it. And the reason I can do this is that I have the Adobe Creative Cloud. And these are all RAW files because they're shot with my Fuji X-E3. But if I go into Lightroom CC Mobile, I can go ahead and add these photos and basically just select the photos I just imported and add them in. Now the nice thing is that because this is Lightroom CC and part of the Adobe Cloud Creative Suites, as soon as I import the photos into the Lightroom app, it's going to start syncing wirelessly to the Adobe Cloud. And I think I have I want to say 1 terabyte, 100 gigs, I don't know, it's something pretty big. And it stores it on the Adobe Cloud. So what I can do is that I can upload all of my photos, imported first from the SD card into the Apple Photos app, and then from Lightroom CC, imported from my camera roll, and they will import as RAW, as you can see, and then let it sync when I'm connected to Wi-Fi. And when I'm back home, I can go ahead and just download all of those sync photos, the full RAW resolution, and copy it to my archive hard drive. And in the meantime, I can continue to shoot on my SD card because I'm deleting them after I import them, and then they get backed up. So that's kind of my workflow. Importing videos is the same way. So you would import it to the camera roll, and then you can use any of your favorite editor to go ahead and finish the edit. So I'm not going to do the import of the videos on screen because it's going to take a while, but I'm going to do that now and then come back on a second part and show you how I edit videos directly on the iPad Pro. Alrighty, I'll see you guys soon. Thanks. Alright, so we are at the computer, and I've gone ahead and imported the videos as well as the photos. So when we look inside, here are the two videos that I imported, as well as the couple of photos that I took earlier. So once we have it imported, what we do is we go, and you've already seen this part where I imported the photos, the watch photos. They're all raw, and in fact these have all synced to my computer, so they're good to go. But what I wanted to show you on this one is what I do with the videos. So I use an app that's called LumaFusion. It's on the second row. It's that first app there, right below Google Photos. And this one's like $20 on the App Store, but it's totally worth it. So what happens is that if you go into LumaFusion, and I'm getting this error message because this is a completed video, and I've already uploaded and saved everything, so I deleted the original, and that's why I got that error. So let's go ahead and just delete the video clips from the timeline, and we can bring in the other ones. And I'll show you quickly how I edit these videos and get them published. So I just surfed to the video album, and here we go. So this video that I'm making has two parts. And I can scrub through and see like where I begin talking and kind of mark the entry point, bring that down to the timeline. And I'm shooting on the Fuji X-E3, which when it gets to a certain file size for the video, it creates a new file, so that's why it's in two parts. So on this one I can zoom to the end, scrub until I see that it's all done. And I think this is it. Mark the end, bring it down, and there we go. So we have it in our timeline. What I like to do is I like to add a little fade out at the end of the video and a little fade in. And I like to do a little overlay title as well. And to edit, I would just double tap on the your text here. And I have a default setup for my formatting, so we're going to call this 2018 and it's the 10 years on follow-up. I did a little video previously about how in the last 10 years we really haven't learned anything in terms of the economy and all that, and this is kind of the follow-up to that. So I'm going to go and just select this piece of text and copy it, because I'm going to have that for my file name as well. And once I have it positioned the way I like it, I usually like it on the lower left. Go back, and you know, we can kind of scroll through this and see if we want to make any adjustments for color or lighting. I think it looks, you know, pretty decent, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just make a very minor adjustment here by clicking on the toolbox and going to edit. And if I touch the little icon here that looks like a little rectangle with a star, I can do some light editing. So let's say that we want to and there's some presets here, but let's say that we wanted to up the saturation a bit, so like the 110. So that's a good place to start, and it's already looking better. So what I can do is I can also bump up the contrast just a tad, see what it looks like at 15, so it doesn't look quite washed out. And that may be That may be just right. So I'm not going to do a lot of editing in here, but you can change the colors, you can do some minor grading and all of that. But I kind of like the way this looks now. Then I can touch the little clipboard here and basically just copy all the settings. And the reason I'm doing that is I have two clips. So let me go to the second clip, touch that, edit it. And in fact, I don't even have to edit. I can just touch the little clipboard clip icon and then paste in my settings. Okay. And what happens is that it takes the settings from the first clip and pastes it onto the second one so that they are consistent. That's pretty much it. At this point, I'm done with my edit. I'm going to go and paste in the title. And then I can export it to my camera roll and then load it up onto YouTube or whatever else I want to do. So this is a 7-minute video, and LumaFusion actually renders pretty quickly. This is all in 4K, and like I said, it will be done very quickly here on an iPad Pro. And then when it's done, I can publish it to YouTube or Facebook or Twitter or Vimeo or whatever the hell I want. Usually I'm putting it on YouTube, and then I would back it up to Google Photos. So that's it. That's what I do with my videos and my photos when I'm on the road using the Apple iPad Pro 12.9 inch and the external Lightning card reader. All right, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Hopefully you learned something from this. If you have any questions, please feel free to shoot me an email or post a comment below, and I will get back to you. Thanks. See ya.